Young world. Another day, another episode. A late episode this week. We'll get into why. But hello, world. Young world. This is The Blank with Carlos and Ryan. I am one half Carlos.
I'm Ryan.
And this is, again, The Blank. Thank you for stopping by. We apologize for coming in late this week. As we did advertise, we were not going to shoot on our usual Thursdays this week due to somebody getting a vaccine.
I'm hoping that people saw our Instagram post. I think that was important because, like, if people listen to us on YouTube, and not follow us on Instagram, then they wouldn't have known.
Right.
Like, I got shit from somebody that listens to us, and you know, bless you to that listener, and she knows who she is, and she was like, "Yo, where the fuck is my Friday morning podcast?" And I'm like, "Yo, I'm sorry." Like, you know, I didn't mean to. I just kind of had the thing to do. She's like, "You know, okay, that's a proper excuse." So, go check us out on Instagram and go follow us there. Kind of thing.
Speaking of Instagram, I actually got a message from one of our listeners who, based on your message, 1 second. And I quote, he says, LMAO, Carlos, I hope you roast your boy for fully dressing up to go get his shot. And these other messages, he's so team light skin. Now, Ryan, we've known each other for quite some time.
What?
We've known each other for quite some time, and I know I have made my jokes about you being too light-skinned for your own being. Now, Ryan, if other people can see it, clearly it's an issue. Ryan, you need to chill out with the whole light-skin attitude.
What?
And the clothing choice. It's a problem, sir. All right. Even our viewers are getting to see. Even our viewers. Our followers are now seeing this as a problem. This is a problem, sir. Okay?
You have to tell me who said that.
No,
I'm coming. Coming for that.
I absolutely will not tell you. For their safety, I will not tell you.
And just as an FYI to everybody, I don't have access to Instagram, so Carlos deals with all of our social media stuff. So
I just want to be clear, Ryan. It's a problem, sir. All right. Your light-skinnedness is clearly being shown to the world. And look at this guy. Look at this. And Ryan, you were wearing a mask in that video, and I could tell for 100% sure your lips were bitten at least 10 times. You bit your lips many times under that mask. I did not even need to see it to know. All right.
It was one take.
No. Okay. Well, I mean, okay. Ryan, I can't have this being an issue for future episodes, okay? If we get big in the future, you know, if we get the viewers, you know, we get the endorsement deals, I can't have you going all light skin on me and getting all these modeling gigs, okay? I still need a partner for this podcast, sir.
Man.
Do you have anything to say for yourself in defense?
Yeah. Whoever messaged that,
I'm gonna find you. Okay. All right.
No, I don't know, man. Like, I think that. Well, it's funny because I was like, man, I haven't dressed up or like even thought about wearing anything nice to like do anything in such a long time just due to COVID. Like, it's been sweatpants central for the past year?
Yeah,
you know, year and a bit kind of thing. It's just like, So I was like, you know what? Like, I'm gonna go out. I'll look decent or half decent. You know, bite my lip here and there if I have to.
Jesus Christ. Christ.
It went well, which is actually really funny because I had so many conversations with people during that time. Like, I don't know. I had one person compliment me on my hat. And then just like full conversation with people. And I think that potentially even dressing that way maybe opens up a conversation. And it was nice just to like see people out and about kind of thing. You know, I think that was the cool part of it. Yeah, I probably overdressed a bit to go get my fucking vaccine.
Bro, you look like the Essence magazine back in 1990. It's like Jodeci was missing one member
Oh man, but yeah,
Jeez.
I got it, man. I got
You
the
got your
vaccine.
vaccine.
Yeah, I got my vaccine, man.
Yeah.
Fucking,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good time.
That's good. I too got my vaccine on Wednesday. Yeah, went in, got it, walked in there, had conversations with nobody because it's none of their goddamn business why I'm there. Stayed all my distances and whatnot. Saw a few cuties here and there, but just like, God, I hope we have a summer. But yeah, who knows?
You were supposed
good.
you were supposed to post a video.
I was, and I got really, and it was that was my bad. I got, I'll take the shame on you finger. Yeah. Pause. But yeah, that was. Yeah, that was my bad, guys. I'm sorry. I should have posted. I was thinking of posting something because I was like literally in the car, but then I'm like, okay, there's far too many people around. I shouldn't go this crazy about myself. But yeah, and now that I got it, I feel energized. I feel like a Hulk. I feel good to go. So what you gonna do? No, not that Hulk. Sorry. So yeah, I feel good. But that's one down and one more to go the next 4 months. So if you live in a hotspot, people, I know things got canceled this summer, which sucks. I'm not happy about it. I wanted to go to Caravana. Okay, CNE.
Definitely.
Taste of Danforth. All right, but I mean, here's to hoping to next year that those are all still taking place. I'm kind of scared for the CNE because the whole situation that they need money and they may close down forever.
Yeah.
If you heard about the petition, I believe they only need 5,000 signatures. There's a whole lot of Torontonians out there. So if you heard about this, the petition, please sign it. I already signed it already.
Oh, word, man! I gotta sign that still.
Oh my God, Ryan! For God's sake,
damn, that'd be dope.
Do you not love your city?
No, I love it.
Okay, come on, then get it together, sir. Save the CNE. That way we can go and press the females. Well, I can. You, on the other hand, I don't know what your situation is. You just go and then just have a good time back at CNE and Caravana. Yeah. We're doing a whole lot of gangsta-ish next year, by the way, Ryan, whether you like it or you don't, okay? By the way, all right. But yes, I understand things got canceled, but get vaccinated so you can at least have a bit of a fun summer as much as we can,
Definitely.
So please, if you live in a hotspot or whether you do or you don't live in a hotspot, I know it's a sacrifice, but line up to get the vaccine. The payoff will be well worth it. All right. Go and do that thing. In other news, that new J. Cole album came out this week. I know you don't consider yourself a J. Cole fan for some reason.
I did not listen to it yet, but I probably will give it a chance. I'll be honest with you. I think that J. Cole has like his moments, but he's just not. He's not it, man. But that one freestyle over 93 till infinity,
that was good.
Was disgusting.
That was good.
Like, absolutely disgusting. And if you haven't seen that, go check that out because he absolutely rips that. I was shocked. I was honestly shocked. I'm like, shocked. I knew that J. Cole was he was sick, but like that was just nasty. Like that was like, ugh. Oh yucky. God. Ugh.
Yucky.
So yeah, go check that out and check out his album. So shout out to J. Cole for putting out the album. That's dope. I have to check it out still. I'm sure it's pretty sick. You think it's sick? You said it was good.
I liked it. It was fire. I have a few callbacks on there. Cameron was actually on the album.
What?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Cameron and Lil Jon. That was random too. Yeah. But no, it was good. It was a good album, man. I enjoyed it very much.
So 10 out of 10. What are you giving it?
You're putting me on the spot for the review. I will give. This is the Carlos official review of the J. Cole album. I will give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
Good.
It's a fire album. It's not like perfect. Obviously, there's a select few albums that I consider perfect. This album is very good for what it is for J. Cole. It's a good album. Go stream it on your on your nearest streaming platforms today. And right after that, listen to The Blank with Carlos and Ryan on your streaming platforms today. What are you doing to yourselves? We're on Spotify too, you bitches. So fucking get on that. So that's all I have to say about that. Anything else from the past week that's on the top of your head, though?
to get into some nerd shit.
Okay.
I finally built my computer.
Oh,
and it's
well,
like fully done, which is dope.
In case y'all didn't know, Ryan was using his work PC for the earlier shows, but now he's official. He built his own PC, bought the whole thing. Had a bit of an incident with the graphic card because this chip, what do you call it? This I don't even know. They're out of chips.
These motherfuckers is out of
boy.
chips.
Oh dear.
No Lay's.
Yeah.
No Doritos. These guys are out of chips. Makes me sick.
Oh Jesus.
But luckily it got done. It's finally completed, and we have some sort of an editing tool now, which is pretty dope. So
yeah. Okay.
But yeah. I think that was probably somewhat of the biggest news I had this week.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. And now you can see Ryan in HD, 4K rather. Look at him. Oh, 60 frames per second. Ah, Jesus. Oh my God.
But
yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna address your light skinned issues. Maybe that'll be a topic for an episode. Just like, why are you so light? Why do you act so light skinned?
You're gonna have to tell me who that was, man. That's still gonna bother me.
I'm not gonna do that. Not gonna do that.
But to get into the topic of today's episode or this week's episode, speaking of the CNE, what Carlos is saying, it's going to be gaming. And I know how, I wouldn't say minuscule gaming is in relation to like the grand scheme of things, but I know, and I would think Carlos as well, like during that 90s era and like growing up in the early 2000s, like gaming was huge. Like all the consoles was big. There was like gaming before the internet, which is absolutely madness. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like just kind of the 1 and 2 player where you sit and watch the same TV kind of thing. So I think today's episode is actually going to be pretty interesting. I think it's going to be fun to see and hear the stories of each other and, what we played as a kid and like what we got to grow up with. So,
yeah. All right, let's start it off. Ryan, what was your very first gaming system when you were a kid?
I honestly I didn't even think about or like prep well enough for this episode. I'll be perfectly honest with you. So I do apologize.
That's the point. That's the point. We're off the jump. We're having a conversation.
But I think it had to be definitely Super Nintendo, and I'm sure that goes for a lot of other people as well. And like
Mine too.
I was fortunate enough to be in a spot where my brother loved the video game as well, so he would go out and get the latest console however he got the money, and then luckily my mom worked her ass off enough to be able to kind of provide those kind of things and those luxuries for us as a kid. So Super Nintendo definitely was the first thing I remember playing when I was younger. I don't remember what age it was, but it had to be probably like 4 or 3 maybe or something like that. But
do you know what games you played?
Well, obviously, there's always the Super Marios,
of course.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
What's the other one? And for those who don't know, and I think I brought this up in the 90s cartoon episode.
Yeah.
But Biker Mice from Mars.
Ooh.
I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but growing up in the 90s, there was this one cartoon called Biker Mice from Mars, and that was probably one of my favorite shit way back when, and not a lot of people know about it because they only had
a very underrated show. Yeah.
But they had this one racing game that was kind of like a spin-off of Mario Kart, but it was absolutely dope.
Yeah.
And I remember running that with my cousins. For any of my cousins that are listening, you know what I'm talking about. But good times, man. What about you guys? What was the first? So you said Super Nintendo was the first one?
Yes. Yoshi's Island, I played a lot there. There was this one Power Rangers game I played a lot. Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah,
I played there. It was like really violent. I'm just like, oh, that was like probably my first M for mature game I ever played. I had a few games for Super Nintendo, but I can't really think off the top of my head. Obviously, your Mario's, your Donkey Kongs. And yeah, that's basically, yeah, off the top of my head, that's about it. But yeah, Super Nintendo was that system, man. It was so good. I really miss those days where instead of, online gaming that we have today, you just like go to your friend's house after school or something and then play your video games. Even like I didn't do that for Super Nintendo. I wasn't that broke. I mean, like we were not, financially wise, we weren't the greatest, obviously, but I held my own. There was your N64s. Now that was the system for me, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I remember just like, after school going to a friend's house or a friend's coming to, my place and playing N64. The worst part about it is when the talking the ish of playing these video games. You're either racing games or fighting games, you're talking, nowadays these Gen Z kids are have to go deal with this nonsense online from kids from China calling you the N-word and nonsense. But imagine to that, but in your face, in your own house, he's calling you this nonsense. And then you have to sit there and take it because you're losing. Imagine playing, 007 GoldenEye and you're losing, and and then you keep on losing, and then these assholes are in your house calling you all these names, racial slurs, and then you can't say anything back because it's not right house etiquette. That was what pissed me off about video gaming back in the 90s, okay? Jesus. Can you imagine, you're just playing the game. I'm trying really hard. I'm just like, this mother. And then, he just like, oh, bitch, you suck. Eat a dick, you suck. And I'm just sitting there like, you know what, whatever. My mom just made some, sandwiches. You guys hungry? Right? I can't say anything back. That's unfortunate. But that's what sucked about people, about these systems back then. Online gaming wise, now I can take it because, I don't know this freaking clown. This dude's probably miserable, lives in his mama's basement, 47 years old. I don't care. But either still, that's what that's what I hated about those games back in the day. It was the ish talking that you had to do in person. But very classic, the greatest games ever came on those systems in terms of N64, Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1. That's what I enjoyed about those systems. But for me, in my opinion, N64 is my favorite, like, ever.
Well, now that you've given us the hatred side.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think was like special about that era in relation to like Super Nintendo, N64? What was special to you about it?
I think the fact that it was the age of like the age of where you test these gaming ideas. Like they would have like these random these stories of like because you're so used to the whole Mario, Mortal Kombat. We're just dealing with the whole, it has to be that one segment of gaming, so it has to be either fighting, it has to have racing, but now it just like segued into now RPGs are now a huge thing. So having an RPG on like those, or role-playing game for those that don't know, just going into just selecting a character, and then dressing them up in whatever they want, and then you just have this story where instead of you could just create yourself. So I mean, like this is pre-online, obviously, so you just follow along with these stories, and that's what I enjoyed about it. It's just like it was without the online thing, it was just a story. It was just the stories of, or just comparing it to, let's say, what's the one RPG that's a really good example? For me, Chrono Trigger on Super Nintendo was a big one.
I'm not gonna front with you, sorry to cut you off there, but I actually just Googled it, kept it on the tab on the side, just to try and get that in there and bring it up.
Yeah,
because that game was wild.
Like considered by many critics to be like the greatest RPG like ever made. So by many critics. But in terms of gold, like for me, like Golden Sun on Game Boy Advance, that was a really good one. It's just like just the amount of detail in the story. Like even games today, they have great stories now, but like in the detail of the story and considering the graphics that they had, they had to make best of what they, what they had. Like obviously, like if you look back in the past, like if you look back on videos, the graphics are shit compared to what they are today. But I mean, the fact that they made do with what they had, and they created these stories, and they sell the amount of games that they did was just like it's insane. You know what I mean? It's wild that they still created these stories, and to this day, like some of the greatest games came out of that era. So that's why I genuinely enjoyed of the of that of the 90s. It just had like fantastic video games, great stories that came from it. The graphics, obviously, compared to now, are not great, but it's just the imagination that was put into the game was unreal.
Definitely.
Yeah. But yes, you go ahead. I know you had your spiel about Chrono Trigger.
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I remember Chrono Trigger. For anybody who hasn't played Chrono Trigger, if you have an Android, I don't know if there's an Apple app for it, but you can actually go download Chrono Trigger on your
for
phone.
A few bucks.
I don't remember how much. I think it's like $10 or something like that. But that game's worth every single dollar. Whether you're emulating and you got an emulator, or whatever like that, go play that game, because Chrono Trigger happens to be one of the best, 24-bit or 32-bit graphic RPG games of all time. And just even the music, like to this day, I actually still have the ringtone. Well, my ringtone currently is one of the theme songs of that, like that specific. So the soundtracks, that's another thing. Soundtracks in relation to those games, like, was absolutely massive.
Yeah.
And like
the Mortal Kombat theme, that's like one theme that's really the Super Mario theme. It's just the theme music of those games back then, just like they're just standing the test of time. You know what I mean? You can just hear the Mario theme, you instantly just jumps to, oh hey, that's Mario, obviously. But just great stuff out of that genre or area.
I was gonna say that era, I think, was, like you said earlier, we didn't have that online aspect where I couldn't play with I don't live with my brothers anymore, so it's kind of like I don't get to sit in the same room and we'd both be connected to the same console kind of thing anymore. There's not that concept anymore. But when I was younger, things like N64 that opened up the 4-player relationship, or just Super Nintendo where you just had the 2 slots, the relationship that you happen to have or be able to kind of build with like my brothers, we probably wouldn't be as close as we are today without gaming. Without those concepts of like sitting beside each other and like trying to beat Donkey Kong or Star Fox or whatever it is at that point in time, to be able to kind of sit in that same room with that person, to play games with them. Like I said earlier, N64 and the 4-person. I remember how many hours me and my cousins put into Mario Party. All sitting in the same room. We used to stay up. We'd get licks or beats from our parents because we're staying up so late. But like that relationship that I got to build with my cousins and spending so much time with them, because we're all kind of just surrounded by this console that allowed us to all connect, in this digital level. And like now with the technology advancement in relation to being online, opening those doors to be able to kind of message my cousin that happens to live like an hour away kind of thing. And just be like, what the fuck is up? Do you want to play Call of Duty, or do you want to play Halo, or whatever it happens to be? Those early systems like Super Nintendo, like N64, really built the basis of some of the relationships that I have with some of the people that I love to this day, So I think that's the one thing I found really special about the growth in relation to technology, like aside from technology and the advancement of itself, but the building of those relationships that I had as a kid. I probably wouldn't have to this day if I didn't spend so many hours playing Super Nintendo or Super N64.
You just had to be there. You just had to be there.
It was wild.
Yeah. Because nowadays, those systems are really expensive. Those games.
Oh, yeah.
That's how too are extremely expensive. Makes me really regret. I had both of those, and I really regret not keeping them.
The thing about it is that it's like a thing to still try and go and find those, shout out to Murph, and he knows this story, but really quickly, my buddy Murph, and he's Carlos's buddy too, but he was like, again, rude, man.
Love you, Murph.
But he was like, yo, I want to go buy an N64. And we were like 22 at the time. So this was like years upon years after N64 was big.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want an N64. So I'm like, okay, like go find one, Kijiji it or whatever like that. Sorry, the story's gonna be really quickly, but
it's okay. Take your time.
So me and him drive out to like this hood. Like he's like, oh, I messaged somebody on Kijiji. They have N64s. Like I'm gonna go check it out. So we drive out to like this random like sketchy ass apartment building.
Oh, where was this?
I think it was in Scarborough.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say like Kitchener or something.
No, I think it was in somewhere like deep in Scarborough. And
okay.
But we're in like the hood or whatever like that in this sketchy building. So we park up and we meet the guy at the front door, and he's like, oh, like you guys are Murtaza and Ryan, like whatever, because I guess we said our names. And we're like, yeah, we want to check out the N64, or at least try it before we buy it from you.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, come up. So then we get to his apartment. This guy literally has no lights on, and he didn't turn on any lights for whatever reason.
And he patted you down as you got through the door.
It almost like felt like he probably, I don't know, it was like the wildest night. So like we're there, Jesus. It's at nighttime. It's like 9 at night. Roll up to this random apartment building. It's like this old Asian dude. He's probably in like his like 50s.
Yeah.
And we go up the elevator with him, and he's like, come to my apartment. This guy like didn't turn on any lights. It was the darkest fucking apartment ever. We get into the apartment. He has his kitchen and a living room. It's a pretty small apartment. But all he has in this apartment is this old school tube TV and like a mattress on the floor. And there's nothing else there, I remember.
Oh.
And the N64 right beside the tube television. And at this point, we already had LCD televisions and like fucking
1080p.
Yeah, 1080p, like that kind of stuff out. And he has old tube, and he's like, okay, we'll test it. So we tested it. And then me and Murph are sitting in this old guy's apartment playing or N64.
Yeah.
Just to test if this thing was working. I don't remember how much Murph paid for the actual N64, but I remember like leaving. He paid him. We took the stuff, left. And I remember being like, man, that is the sketchiest fucking dude ever selling N64s. And it was the weirdest night. I remember, but Murph's happy, and I think he still has the N64. But it's just like the depths and the length and the distances that we happen to go through just to
relive your past. Just to relive your past.
Yeah, I know, man. Like
Jesus Christ. And then a few years, and then now, what if they come up with a whole like a remastering of the N64, like they did with the PlayStation and the Sega?
That'd be huge.
That'd be pretty big.
Huge.
And then Murph would just be like, I went to that sketchy dude's apartment for no goddamn reason.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So Nintendo, if you're listening, make it happen. I'm trying to, throw it in Murph's face. But yeah, that's awful. I would, you had, my heart was racing as soon as you said Scarborough. So, obviously, for those of you that don't know, Scarborough and Brampton are my least favorite cities in the GTA. I'm shouting them out. I don't give a fuck. So, anyways, yeah, my least favorite. Not a fan.
Oh my God. We just lost a whole bunch of listeners.
Right
then and there.
Don't care. I don't. Like, get yourself together. Get your ish together. Brampton, why are the insurance rates so expensive there? I work for an insurance company. I know they are expensive. Get your ish together. Scarborough, you're sketchy. Deal with it. You got to improve. All right? That's all I'm saying. All right. If you have a problem with me, see me. I live in. I'm not even gonna go there. You know what? You had me for a second, but I'm just gonna let you know my fists are like a family-friendly game. They rated E for everyone. You understand? I am about that life. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. Anyway.
Oh my God.
That's the end of rant today. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. I want all the smoke. I don't care. Got me doing my gaming trash talk on this goddamn podcast. Oh Jesus. All right. Rated E for everyone. Anywho. So yeah, I was a really big fan of PS2 growing up. That was a really good system for me.
And 1 to 100, man.
Yeah. I never played online for PS2 though. That sucked. Well, I mean, because you have to pay.
I didn't think I did either.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even know how that worked.
Yeah.
Is there like a cord in the back?
Yeah, you have to stick a cord in the back, and then you have to pay.
Like a phone line cord?
I think so. Or no, I think it had Ethernet. But then the PS3 came about, and then they had online for free. I'm like, oh, that was great. Yeah. And down the PS4 is charging online, which I'm not impressed about. But yeah, in terms of systems growing up, PS2, that was a big one for me. That was a really big deal. Ryan is an Xbox dude. Feel free to skip forward if you're not really into the Xbox. It's whatever. It's whatever. When did you have the original Xbox or?
You know what's funny? I didn't actually. Ooh. That came out in like
01? 02?
Yeah. I remember my cousins had it, and I think the one game that I played pretty often on the original Xbox was Madden. I was playing like the football games for whatever reason, the weird ass controller that they happen to come out with for Xbox.
Yeah.
That's probably the only experience. I think like throughout that era of like PS2 and Xbox, I probably PC gamed more than I did actually console gaming. Yes. So like I don't have a big or a great love the same way that people do for PS2 and Xbox, like the OG Xbox. Like it wasn't there for me. And whether it's because I didn't beg my mom to go buy it for me because I wasn't making money at that point. I think I was playing more PC gaming than I was during that time. I think that was kind of that era. But I definitely understand that PS2 was like one of the GOAT systems at that point in time.
Oh, for sure. So you're a PC gamer, huh? So well, did you have a game for your go-to game? Like, what is your favorite PC game, like ever, Ryan?
Me and our buddy Andrew was actually, me and him were talking about this the other day, and it happens to be Diablo 2. And anybody else who's actually played Diablo 2 knows how much of a classic that game is, and there's still a following for that game now, even though there's 2 other versions out as of this day. Diablo 2 is still kind of the OG classic RPG, PvP, great game. And quick funny story, my ex-girlfriend actually used to call me Mr. Diablo because I actually would miss all of her calls. I'd cancel dates.
All right, I was gonna say I thought it was for a whole.
No, nothing like that. But I remember. I remember.
Right, kids listen to this for God's sake.
I spent so many hours like playing that game. Like literally, I used to skip high school classes sometimes just to go home and play the game, kind of thing. Because I was like, fuck doing anything else. I just want to play that game. So the amount of hours that I'm not going to say wasted, but sat behind a computer screen the same way that I'm doing now for that game was definitely Diablo 2. That was my shit.
Will you be buying, because I know they're remastering the game, will you be buying the new remaster? Oh, okay.
I'm ready.
Diablo dance? Is that your Diablo dance?
That's my Diablo dance.
Okay.
What about you, Carlos? What was like? Did you ever play PC gaming? I don't know.
I play PC games. Yeah, definitely.
Like what?
3D pinball was a big one for me. Solitaire.
That was actually sick. Yeah, those are actually sick.
Solitaire was a good one for me. Yeah, I never really played like PC games, like legit PC games. Yeah, I never really got into it. I don't know. Like I never had like because my computers were not like that advanced at the time. Like I didn't have like the graphic cards. I had my computers my PCs were like very basic. So anything that I wanted to play that was crazy would either be on my console or handheld. Oh, handhelds. Handhelds. I mentioned it earlier, but Game Boy Advance, that was a big one for me. Game Boy Advance was I enjoyed oh boy. Let's see. What games did I play for? The Golden Sun I mentioned earlier. Pokemon Silver I was a really big fan of.
Every Pokemon, no?
Every Pokemon, obviously.
That was just kind of a given.
Yeah. Obviously, Pokemon. It's oh my god, those handheld games, dude. You can play those for hours and never get like tired of it. Um, yeah. Oh my god. Yes, I just remember playing a whole lot of Pokemon growing up in the handheld. Did you have any handhelds that you played? I played. I had it on Color, and then I played like the advanced. Oh, Game Boy Color. That was a big one. That was. I remember.
You
I remember the game
color,
changer.
it's like
Yeah,
fucking mind blowing. I
yeah.
remember.
I was just like, wait a minute, hold on.
What the fuck?
Because I remember the
Oh,
original Pokemon Red and Blue we had here. And that wasn't color. That was just like
oh man, that was in black
yeah,
and white.
yeah, it was black and white. And then the Game Boy Color so it came out, and it was like, what? And then
Man, that is
Silver and Gold
wild.
came out, and we're just like, oh, bro, they're fully colored. They colored did this. This is crazy. And then yeah, that changed my life. I got the advance right after. Played a few classics on that, and yeah, that was awesome. Oh, I just remembered a game. It's not handheld. I'm just going all over the place right now. Super Smash Bros.
On
Have you played that?
handheld?
No, 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 no.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. For N64.
Well,
And then
technically speaking, it's
GameCube.
handheld. Yes. You know what? I never played it for GameCube.
What?
I know, I know. I never had the GameCube.
GameCube was like the weirdest but like futuristic looking fucking
Why
little
was it weird?
box. I don't think it did that well. I don't think like it went well with the community. I don't think that people really like enjoyed GameCube the way that it should have been enjoyed. Because I remember the one Mario water game. I don't know if you remember that. I think it was called Mario Sunshine.
I think so. Yeah.
And
yeah.
he had like this pack on his water, and it was kind of like the old school
Yes,
Mario 3D. And he just did this whole thing. But like there were so many games for GameCube. I think GameCube is probably just an underrated console in itself. I don't think enough people gave it fucking time. Like the
Mario... I mean, at the time it came out, it was a battle between PS2 and Xbox.
Oh,
and
yeah.
GameCube was like just there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
GameCube was wild, those little fucking discs.
Yeah, those discs were so tiny.
But it's like in comparison, those guys, like that was the next gen of like 4 controller gaming. So you got 4 people playing the same fucking console, which was mind blowing at the time. And then, like I was talking about before with the relationship, is like, man, all you and 4 of your friends or 3 of your friends can sit there and play Mario Party for hours, and like that shit was just wild. Like, but I never played Smash Bros that much. I'll be honest with you.
Oh my god,
I'm terrible at fighting games. Bro. Absolutely terrible.
I'm not the greatest myself, but like when you're in the heat of the moment, when you're not that great and then you end up winning, oh my god, bro, oh my god, I can't even begin to tell you how many controllers I've broken from playing such crazy fighting games such as that. Your Dragon Ball. Oh, dude. Well, I mean, Ryan would know. Ryan's a pretty angry person when he plays online for like PC. He's not very light skinned when it comes to those games.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Ryan, you have a bit of a temper tantrum when it comes to these. Do you have an explanation as to why it is that you have such a temper tantrum with these games? But I want to be clear, and also sorry to interrupt before I let you get your spiel. Ryan is genuinely very good at these shooting games. Extremely, like it's almost like I can't keep up with this guy, and none of our friends in our group can keep up with this guy. He's unreal in these games. But yes, Ryan, go ahead. Explain why you have such temper tantrums when it comes to video games.
I think like growing up and playing games and like being competitive, it stems off of like playing basketball and like football and like being that competitive kid growing up. And that was just like me being like a little fucking angry teenager all the time and like going through maturity. Like obviously your emotions are flying and shit like that. And like I was taking my anger out on kids online, being that kid that Carl's, but not the N-word.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But nowadays, like it is the only thing that makes me upset or like mad, it's the only thing I get mad at. Like if I have to take out my anger on something, but I don't have a lot of anger anymore now that I'm older and like more mature about certain things and I'm like level-headed. Everything in the world, nothing makes me mad other than gaming. it's like I don't have nothing else to be mad at. Like I love my life and it's going great, and fucking the only thing that I can sit and yell at is gaming, you know?
Oh, boy. Oh,
So
boy.
that's how I kind of relieve my stress, I would say. I think that's probably like the good way to put it. But yeah, no, like I just
Have you broken controllers from your anger in the past?
oh yeah.
Oh,
I've
boy.
probably broken like 2 Xbox controllers like way back when.
Jesus Christ.
Like I remember I like just fucking boom, throw it on the floor.
God damn.
Then you gotta try and scavenger for like $60 to try and find another controller. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah, it wasn't good. It was
Yeah.
not good, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It
This guy.
was a good time.
I imagine. And now your brother's following up in your footsteps, it seems.
Yeah, so for those who don't know my brother, and I was actually going to talk about him a little bit closer to the end of the podcast, but just to bring him up, he's a huge gamer, and I honestly think that if he spent the time and my mom gave him the freedom to be able to actually put his focus into gaming and gaming only, I honestly think he could probably go like professional. Like
Ooh.
he could easily be great. Like he's super young. He's like 11 years old and he's absolutely disgusting at some of the stuff. And like just his reactions, watching him play certain things, like he's a big Fortnite kid. So, but like just seeing him play, like he's absolutely disgusting. And I think that if he 100% focused on this, he could probably make it. But like, you know, Asian parents or like any kind of parents, realistically, the pressure for you got to go to school and stuff like that. But even with him, it's like with him, I automatically don't even know if he's going to go to school. Like, what if he got a high school and he just wants to play games this whole time? Or like,
is that a concern?
For me, I say it's my parents, like my mom and his dad. Yeah, he's definitely concerning. But him, I honestly don't think he's going to go to college or like university.
Really?
I think that that's like an option for kids now, is that they have the ability to, and like just the tools and the mechanisms and like the stuff that we happen to have for kids, like computers, are the ability to just be so much more advanced. They have more options in relation to just like our routes that we did, where it's like you go to school.
They do.
I think like, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just sorry to interrupt you. It sucks that when we were younger, our parents had to tell us, "Oh, your video game, where's video games gonna get you?" I could pop up a video right now, and I could see a kid making $1 million. And you're playing the video games that we played as kids, or even playing Fortnite or Call of Duty now. And then I just turn to my mom and just be like,
"It is wild, man."
Yeah, like it's just like they're getting contracts. They're on ESPN, for God's sake. How are you gonna have LeBron James highlights, and then the next topic is a Fortnite, tournament? It's crazy.
Like millions and millions of dollars have like been built on this industry, and like the industries, it's so far advanced. It's come from sitting in a room with your brother or your sister, whoever, playing on a 2-person console. Now going to where we have a society where a certain amount of young kids make millions and millions off of like Twitch streaming and like just playing games, 12 hours a day, putting in that kind of focus. Like those guys are athletes, like in comparison, like maybe not like the physical athlete that we're used to being in the 90s, like the MJ or the Kobe, rest in peace Kobe.
Yeah, Hall of Famer this weekend. Shout out Kobe, man.
Shout out to Kobe. But yeah, man, like it's not that in comparison. Like those guys, that's a full-on career now.
Yes.
Which is wild. Absolutely wild.
Insane in the membrane. Like, having GMs, celebrity GMs. Rick Fox that had a team.
Oh yeah, Rick Fox.
A few people. What is Scott Cranky? I forgot his name, but he was the owner of the Denver Nuggets. He has a Call of Duty league that he also owns Arsenal, the soccer team.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and he now owns a Call of Duty league so it's insane how even these GMs are just now getting into the gaming thing, realize that the money that comes out of it. Yeah. So, oh my God, it just really, really, really If only I had the time to play the video games a lot more when I was younger, you know. But hey, such is life. But we probably wouldn't have made this podcast, and here we are in the future.
So what
And then,
about?
yeah,
Sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, 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 no. You go. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this romantic 2000 thing where we interrupt each other and then you say, go ahead. No, no, no.
But I was gonna say, Carl, like, what about now? Like, do you feel like, I know you play games here and there. You can whenever we have the time to, outside of like, our day to day or jobs. Being that part of your family, this and that. Like, do you still find yourself playing games? What do you think about it now? Now that we're old.
From time to time, yeah, I play video games. I just played today actually. I was playing online with this kid, and we beat each other a few times. I obviously won, obviously, because I'm just, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm about that life, cuzzo. See me. But he ended up adding me as a friend. It's so weird how we can connect with random strangers. But like, hey, man, that was a good fight. He's like, do you want to play again? I'm like, nah, I can't do that, bro. But who knows? Hit me up later. We'll, we fight again. But yeah, it's just interesting how the online connectivity with this gaming is so, because I would never imagine from playing N64, I'm speaking to some dude in Tibet, and now we're playing video games together on and it could be any game. It's not even like, it's weird how we could connect from one game and then we find out there's mutual interest, and now there's people who are even finding their lovers online from gaming. You know what I mean? Having getting married from these, with the people they meet online. So it's interesting what gaming can do now. And and the internet and gaming, man, that's one hell of a pair. And do you have any thing to say on that there, sir?
I was gonna say, like, just with like modern day gaming, like it's like connectivity to another level. I remember speaking with one of my buddies, and I haven't spoken to him in a while, but he was telling me, I'm not a social media buff, and everyone who's probably listening knows that I'm not a social media dude whatsoever. But I remember when I was talking to him, he was kind of giving me like this whole spiel and like why social media is good and how he uses it and like how I should be on it. And he pretty much talked about, connectivity and like being able to kind of reach out to family members or whoever you haven't seen in a while. And this comes off of my point previously in relation to those relationships I got to build as a youngin, being able to kind of like connect the way that you just said you did with somebody random that could have been from Tibet to Ohio to Hawaii to Netherlands or something like that. Like, I remember I actually spoke to a guy the other day playing Diablo 3, and he was from Kansas City. And I remember just being like, man, this is fucking weird. Like, you know what I mean? And the whole concept of being able to kind of connect with people on a different level as opposed to just like social media, Twitter, podcasts, our listeners kind of thing, like those, it opens up the door to be able to kind of like have that same level relationship that you can certainly build with strangers around the world. It brings people together. And I think that's the really important thing about video games. And even though some people think it's a waste of time, because my mom fucking still hates it, even though she plays Mario.
Exposed.
But, it is a great tool to be able to kind of bring people together, even a pastime if you're not trying to take it seriously. I was speaking to my dad the other day, and he has kids, two of my two younger stepbrothers, and he was telling me how he uses it as, good and a bad kind of a parenting tool. Where it's like, man, when I'm fucking tired, I just let these kids play their games. I got a couple hours of sleep.
Well, yeah.
We
can bring it back. The babysitter, man. The golden age babysitter.
Babysitter, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just like those tools, like people use it to their advantage. Like, I'm sure that my little brothers, them two, are building the relationship they have by playing games the same way I did with my brothers. So I think that aside from the violence or the shit talking or the crappy
are we talking about in the video game or in real life?
I'm talking about video gaming.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, Jesus, dude, you're violent. I'm like, my God, what the hell happened with you? I gotta punch your cousin in the face over Super Mario Party, man.
There's definitely that wonderful aspect in relation to kind of bringing people together, and I think that that's important. You know, no matter where you're from, it's a lovely thing.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah. And to that, Ryan, do you have a message for the young world on video gaming?
For the young world?
Yeah.
Like a quick message?
Yeah, a quick message. Doesn't or any message.
I was just gonna I think that video gaming is definitely an easy tool or an easy door to be able to kind of open up certain things to. I think whether you can use it as a tool to be able to, I don't want to say make yourself feel better or find a pastime or fill in time that potentially you have gaps with, but it's a great hobby. You know, depending if you can afford it, it has become almost like a luxury now, especially in the Western side of, you know, the world, where it's expensive to be able to kind of find hardware because you need a TV, you need a console, you need a controller, you need electricity.
Yeah.
You know, the luxury aspect to video gaming, you know, we kind of overlook because it happens to be second nature to us. But if you can, I definitely recommend it because it taught me a lot of things in relation to, like, you know, relationships between your cousins, conflict, you know, calming yourself down in relation to certain things, finding an out. You know, sometimes, you know, being the kind of be by yourself is the greatest comfort zone for certain people. So try it out if you don't. I'm sure majority of people happen to because it's so accessible now, but it's, you know, I wish that it was more accessible to people so they can actually get that joy that we happen to have as a kid, and even the joy that I happen to get from it now. So it's important. I think it's a great hobby for people to kind of pick up.
Wow, that was beautiful.
What about you, Carlos? What's your last message for, you know, kids or the young world kind of thing in relation to gaming?
I mean, you know, just have fun with it. You know, don't take it too seriously. You know, if you want to develop into a career, then I mean, hey, I mean, obviously there's money in it. You know, go for it. Do what you got to do. You know, if your parents are not that understanding, just do the research. You know, explain to them that you know, gaming is the future, and you know, there is legit, you know, a future in it. And obviously don't let it take over your life, because you know, gaming a bit, you know, doing too much of anything is obviously unhealthy. But you know, learn to spread your activities. You know, go outside, you know, take a walk a little bit, and you know, and just have fun with it. You know, online connectivity wise, you know, just you know, try and see if you can make new friends. I mean that's asking a lot, especially if it's like Call of Duty or Fortnite, because you know, a lot of people, they, you know, they talk that nonsense, but you know, just let them know that you're about that life, and you know, you don't take that BS from nobody. I remember playing with Hunter once, Hunter and Ryan. This, you know, we were playing Call of Duty, and this random dude's just like, "Yo, shut the fuck up." I'm like, "Oh, oh, okay, that was rude." And we started playing the game. Hunter smoked these kids, just like absolutely obliterated them. And he's like only in like what grade is he at? Like fourth grade?
I think he's in grade 6.
Grade 6
I
now?
think.
My
Yeah,
God, we're getting we're
getting
getting
old,
too
man.
old.
Getting
Jesus Christ. But yeah, he's like smoking these dudes who are like twice his age, like obliterating it. And we're just like, damn. Me and Ryan were just instigating the whole thing, like, damn, what happened, bro? It happened. It's like, but yeah, just have fun with it, and you know, and try, you know, make friends with them, unless they're from Scarborough or Brampton, which I don't I don't kick back. So listen, here's the deal. I don't hate the people from that area, but I do judge them differently. I just don't. You know, you need to get your priorities together. Why would you choose that place? Scarborough, horrible place. It's not filled with, it's not great. You know, there's nothing there. And then Brampton, obviously, you know, the insurance rates and the accidents there are insane. Why would you? It's just whatever. I don't judge you as a person if you, you know, if you live there or if you're from there. Just like, I still look at you differently. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So if you want to cancel me, I don't care. Turn it off. You know what I mean? Don't listen to me. But I will speak my piece, damn it. That's all I got to say on the matter. That's my message. Brrring.
Love the red. But
Ah.
I think that's all I gotta say in gaming, Carlos. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. None of you kids will know about changing to channel 3 to get to your gaming system. You'll never know. You will never know the struggle. We had to go through hell and back to play these video games for y'all. Just to, talk to the nonsense to these Chinese kids in Fortnite or Japanese kids. You know what I'm saying? Just so, some kid in Cleveland, Ohio can play with some dude back out in Alaska just to play these games. You don't know the struggle. All right. We went through it. And you know what, world? You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, I think I'm done now.
So this is Ryan.
And this is Carlos. And this is the blank. Fill it in.
Dope.